grade 12s. It's Mr. Hlajai again. Look, I'm back with another past paper. So now we are still, looking at our financial mathematics. So now what I want us to do is basically we want us to look at the past paper of November 2018 and see in terms of what can we do there. Now let's start here. Now the first question that you are given, they say Selby decide today that he will save 15,000 per quarter over the next 4 years. Now he will make the first deposit into the account in 3 months' time, and he will make his last deposit at the end of the 4 years from now. They say how much will Selby have saved at the end of 4 years if the interest and is 8.8% per annum compounded quarterly. Now let's understand this. Now, what is important is look, now there is payments that are made at a fixed interval, right? You have payments, and the payments are how much? It is 15,000, right? So which means now already you know that this is an investment, right? So this is an investment, and from this investment we have what? We have payments, and these payments they have what? They have a pattern, right? Which means they are recurring, which means this is going to therefore suffice to a what? This is going to be our future value, right? We are going to use the future value formula. Are we together? Because now look, it is 15,000, and the 15,000 it is deposited quarterly, which means each and every quarter for the next coming what? For the next coming 4 years. So now let's see in terms of what will Selby have. So this is going to be the future value formula, which is going to be what? The future value formula is given by what? X now into our 1 plus the interest to the power of n subtract 1 over your I, right? Now this is going to be an interest. Now let's see. They are saying now the monthly deposit it's 15,000. Now 15,000 into now 1 plus what is the interest there? It's 0.088 over you what? Over your 4, because they said this is compounded quarterly. For how long? For 4 years. So this is going to be 4 multiplied by 4 subtract 1, isn't it so? Over what? Over your 0.088 divide by your 4. Isn't it so? And look, don't let this 3 months confuse you. Remember, we discussed that now. If let's say the monthly, if the loan is granted to you in terms of monthly installment, so 1 month after the loan is granted or after you are starting your investment is the normal case. So which means it has no any alterations with your end. And similarly now, if it's quarterly, 3 months after the loan is granted, it is also the normal case. So there's nothing that is going to be altered in the value of our end. So please ensure that you always remember that. Now, so what is going to be the value now here? So this amount is going to be your 28. Look, me writing wrong things here. Now look, this is going to be 200,000. This is going to 283,972 comma what? Comma 28 rand, right? 28 cents, right? So this is going to be the future value of this installment. Now, after that, you are going to have now 7.1.2. Now, in this case, now let's see in terms of what this. Now they say if Selby decides now to withdraw the what? The 100,000 from an account at the end of 3 years from now, how much will he now have in the account of how much will he then have at the end of 4 years in the account, right? That's what we want to calculate. Now, look, there are many ways in which we can try and solve this. But, one of the best ways that we can do is we can then start by calculating in terms of now what will be the amount in the bank for at the end of what? At the end of your 3-year period, right? Or at the end of your 3 years. And then now we are then going to continue from there. So what we can do is basically we can calculate in terms of how much will be there on the bank or in the bank at the end of your 3 years. So let's start there. So we are going to say, look, the future value, we already have our formula there. Let's just go and continue and plug in our future value formula, right? So it's going to be now, what is the monthly installment? It's still the 15,000 into what? Into now your 1 plus what is the interest? It's still 0.088 over what? Over your 4. But now we are looking to find out for 3 years, right? To find out what is going to be the amount that is at the bank. So the amount that is at the bank now, it is going to be what? It is going to be now your 2, rather not your 283. Look at me, like writing the wrong one. So now the amount that will be at the bank now at the end of that, it's going to be now 103 459.12, right? So this is going to be the amount that will be at the bank for what? For 3 years. Now, after that, we've calculated that. What is it that we can do now? So now we can calculate in terms of what will be the amount at the end of the 4 years. Now, what we are going to do now is basically now we can use now the outstanding balance formula and see, look, now we can take this now, this 103,000, and make it now. Remember that this 103,000, it is going to also earn interest, right? So what we are going to do is basically now we can try and calculate what will then be the outstanding balance. So now if the amount, right, if the amount is what? If the amount is 103,459, 459.12. So now we can try and understand what will then be the outstanding balance. So now what we are then going to do, we are going to say, look, we can calculate in terms of what amount, or rather how much interest was this amount going to earn after for what? After now the what? After the 4 payments, which is going to be for 1 year, and also what will then be also the future investment for the remaining 1 year. So now we're going to calculate for the last 1 year, and then we are using this one. So we are going to use the outstanding balance formula. So we are going to say, look, this we are going to use now the amount at the end of 4 years, which is our outstanding balance. This is going to be now or rather the money, not necessarily outstanding balance, but the money at the end of 4 years. Let's use the correct terminology there. So what the money after 4 years, right? After 4 years. Now let's see. So let's start here. Now, what is it that we are going to do here? We are going to say this is going to be the formula, which is P into 1 plus your I to the power of N. This is going to be plus your now monthly installments over your 1 plus your I to the power of N, subtract 1 over your what? Over your I. Isn't it so? And now, what is it that we are then going to use now from here? Then we are going to come and calculate. Now, the only thing that we are calculating now here, we want to find out for the 1 year. And we know that it is going to be for how many times within a year? Because it's going to be 4 times within a year. So now we are going to say, look, we are going to substitute in here. So when we are substituting in here, what is it that we are then going to have? Let's see. Now this is going to be same as let me see. Yes, this is going to be, what is the principal amount? Now we are using the 103 459 12, isn't it so? Plus, what is the monthly installment? It's going to be 15,000 again into U1 plus U0, let's try and write this properly. And now we are saying, look, now this is going to be the 103 459 459.12 plus, this is going to be now or rather in brackets 1 plus your 0.88 or 0.088 over what? Over 4 for how long now? For 1 year multiplied by your quarterly, which is 4, plus the other one is going to be what? This other one is going to be again the 15,000. Let's try and squeeze it in here. Let's try and squeeze it in here. Now, what is it? This is going to be what? This is going to be now plus the 15,000 into 1 plus the interest, which is 0.088 over your 4 to the power of what? 1 multiplied by 4, subtract 1, over what? Over your 0.88 again, 0.088 divided by 4, right? Now, then what is it that we are going to have? Now, the value that you are going to find there, or rather the amount of money, it's going to be now the 174 comma 8, or rather 877.60. So which means this is going to be the amount of money that will remain at the bank after after extracting this 100,000. I know this, this might get you a little bit uncomfortable. I want us to try and see in terms of what can be now a different way of approaching it. Look, now another way that we can do, let's use the same thing. Now look, what is it that we already know? We know that at the end of now your 4 years, rather at the end of your 4 years, what is it that you're going to have? Now, this is going to be the amount that you're going to have. So what else you can do? You can take this amount and subtract the 100,000 with its interest, right? So this is another thing that you can do. And then now, what is it that you're going to do? Look, so what you can also do to calculate this amount of money, the much easier way, this is going to be now what? This is going to be your accumulated value. It's going to be what now? It's going to be the 238,972.28. Subtract what? Subtract the 100,000 with the interest that it was going to earn if it was still in the bank. So this is going to be 0.088 over your what? Over your 12 to the power of what? Now the power here is going to be 4 multiplied by 1. Isn't it so? So we are saying, look, if you can take out the 800,000 plus the interest that it was going to earn if it was still on the bank, and now you see that what you are finding is still the same value, which is 174,877.60, right? So which is going to be the amount of money that you're going to get. Are we together? So both ways we are still getting the the same answer, but I think the second one that we have done, I think it's the much simpler way of calculating this. Now let's look at the question now 7.2.1. Let's look now our 7.2. Now our 7.2.1, they say Tshepo takes out a home loan over 20 years to buy a house that cost 1,500,000, which is 1.5 million, right? Tshepo is money. Now look, now 7.2.1, they say calculate the monthly installment if the interest charge is 10.5 per annum compounded monthly. Look, this one is very straightforward. Now, what we want to calculate, what will be the monthly installment if Tshepo was given the loan for how long? For 20 years. We want to calculate in terms of how much must Tshepo pay monthly in order to settle for that particular loan. So we are going to, again, we know that for our loan, we use our present value because this is the amount of money that Tshepo will have now and pay it back later, right? Now, let's see. So this is going to be now our our P, which is going to be X now into what? Now into 1, subtract your 1 plus your interest to the power of negative n over your I, right? Now, what is the principal amount? We already know this is 1.5 million. X into 1 subtract what is 1 plus what is the interest that is going to be in there. This is going to be 0.105 over how long? This is 12, and then the period is what? It's 20 years multiplied by 12, right? Now over your 0.105 over 12, isn't it so? And now, and then let's see, let's try and calculate in terms of what is it that we are then going to have. Now to calculate for our x, what we are going to do, we are going to start by cross multiplying, right? So we are going to multiply the your half 1 million 1.5 million with the 0.1 percent over your 12, right? Then this is going to give you what? This is going to be 13125, right? Which is going to be now your x into everything that you are having there, the 1, and now plus your 0.105 over your 12, right, to the power of negative 20 multiplied by 12. I believe this is 240. Now you divide with this value in both sides, and what is going to be your value of your x? Now let's see, when we divide both sides, the value of our x that we are going to find there, it is going to be what? It is going to be your 14 million, or rather 14,000 975.78. Tsepo is making me to think of millions now. Look, it's 14,000, good people, not million. You see, Tsepo. And now let's look at now our 7.2.2. Now they say calculate the outstanding balance immediately after the 114 payments. Look, now this one is very much straightforward. And now I will try and just use the present value formula so that we can calculate this. Look, now what you can do, there are two ways of calculating the outstanding balance formula, right? But look, preferably what you can use is you can use the present value formula. And when you are using the present value formula, what do you use now? If you are using the present value formula to calculate the outstanding balance, you calculate for the amount. You calculate for the amount of years or payment remaining to be paid, not the ones they've been paid. Look, so if again, look, we are saying this is 20 years multiplied by 12, which is going to be 240, right? So we are saying now, instead of calculating for the 144 when you are using the present value, you are going to calculate for subtract 144. You are going to calculate for the 96 months, right? Because you are calculating for the months that are remaining instead of using the outstanding balance formula. But if you are going to use the outstanding balance formula, you are going to calculate for the 144 instead of the 96. But now, because we are using the present value formula, we are just going to calculate for the 96 months. Hopefully now you understand why do we use present value formula, and why when we use the present value formula, we use the months remaining, while when we are using the outstanding balance formula, then we are using for the months that are already paid off. Now let's see. Look, our present value formula, this is our formula. Good people, please come and check it here, right? So then we are going to come and plug in our formula. The formula is already up here so that you see it, right? Now let's see what is it that we are going to do. Now the present value. What is going to be now the present value? That's what we are looking for. We want to calculate the outstanding balance. Now, we said now the monthly installment, we've already calculated that this is going to be what? This is going to be your 14,000. So this is going to be 14975.70 into what? Now, this is going to be into 1 subtract your what? 1 subtract your let's see, this is going to be 1 plus, 0, 105. Hey, what am I doing? Look, isn't it that we are using the present value formula? Look at me. Now we are saying this is going to be 1. This is going to be 1. Rather, this is going to be 1 subtract you 1 plus. This is going to be 0, 105 over what? Over your 12 into what now? Into 96. Remember, we are using for 96 months, right? And I've explained that before. Divide by 0, 0.01, or rather 0, 105 over what? Over your 12. So what is going to be the present value formula? The present value formula, or rather the present value that we are going to find as our outstanding balance. Let's see. Let's plug. It's going to be 96. It's going to be 969, then it's 927.74. So basically it's going to be 969,927.74 so this is going to be the outstanding balance that Tshepo will still be owing the bank after paying 444 payments. Hopefully this will make sense. Thank you very much.